Salvio hexia, protego totalam, repello mogultum, mufiliato. You could get out the tent, Harry. Tent? In the bag. In the bag? Of course, said Harry. He did not bother to grope inside it this time, but used another summoning charm. The tent emerged in a lumpy mass of canvas, rope, and poles. Harry recognized it partly because of the smell of cats, as the same tent in which they had slept the night of the Quidditch World Cup. I thought this belonged to the Bluffbeck and the Ministry, he asked, starting to disentangle the tent pegs. Apparently he didn't want it back. His lumbago's so bad, said Hermione, now performing complicated figure-of-8 movements with her wand. So Ron's dad said we could borrow it. Erecto, she added, pointing her wand at the misshapen canvas, which in one fluid motion rose into the air and settled, fully constructed, onto the ground before Harry, out of whose startled hands the tent peg soared, to land with a final thud at the end of a rope. Garbe, I minicum, Hermione finished with a skyward flourish. That's as much as I can do. At the very least, we should know they're coming. I can't guarantee it will keep our word. Don't say the name! Ron cut across her, his voice harsh. Harry and Hermione looked at one another. I'm sorry, Ron said, moaning a little as he raised himself to look at them. But it feels like jinx or something. Can we take please? You know who, please? Dumbledore said fear of the name, began Harry. In case you hadn't noticed, miss, calling you-know-who by his name didn't do Dumbledore much good in the end, Ron snapped back. Just, you-know-who, some respect. Show him respect, will you? Respect, Harry repeated, but Hermione shot him a warning look. Apparently he was not to argue with Ron while the latter was in such a weakened condition. Harry and Hermione half-carried, half-dragged Ron through the entrance of the tent. The interior was exactly as Harry remembered it, a small flat, complete with bathroom and tiny kitchen. He shoved aside an old armchair and lowered Ron carefully onto the lower berth of a bunk bed. Even this very short journey had turned Ron whiter still, and once they had settled him on the mattress, his eyes closed again and he did not speak for a while. I'll make some tea, said Hermione breathlessly, pulling a kettle and mugs from the depth of her bag and heading toward the kitchen. Harry found the hot drink as welcome as the fire whiskey had been on the night that Mad Eye had died. It seemed to burn away a little of the fear fluttering in his chest. After a minute or two, Ron broke the silence. What do you reckon happened to Caramels? With any luck, they'll have got away, said Hermione, clutching her hot mug for comfort. As long as Mrs. Cattermole had her wits about him, he'll have transported Mrs. Cattermole by such a long apparition, and they'll be fleeing the country right now with their children. That's what Harry told them to do. Lightning! I hope they escaped, said Ron, leaning back on his pillows. The tea seemed to be doing him good. A little of his color had returned.